Hello, everybody. It's another Wednesday, and today we've got another amazing webinar for you. At least I think it's amazing. Let me just get this up and ready, and we will get going right away. So I like to always check to make sure that my sound is coming through properly. So it's another one of those wonderful, beautiful days here in British Columbia, Canada. It's so hot that I'm going to be an ice cube in my basement soon because of the fact that I have a really, really good air conditioning system. So I'm wondering, could you all tell me what your morning is like while we get ready? Because as you can see on my screen now, we got 17 ways to automate real estate and grow your business. This is going to be a lot of information today, a lot of good information that's going to help you with everything you need in your day-to-day and hopefully make everything good for you. So, thanks, Robert. I appreciate you letting me know the sound is good. Like I say, there's going to be a lot of information to go over today, so we might have to try to keep questions till the end. And then if you do have any questions, and I should introduce myself. My name is Glenn. I am one of the senior technicians here at Top Producer. What I was going to say was, if you do have questions, please wait till the end, or if you do ask them during the time that we're together, the amazing and incomparable Christine will be able to answer them for you in chat as well. Now, we are having a little bit of technical situations here, so we're only showing this on Zoom right now. We don't have it flowing over to Facebook. However, later we'll probably have a copy of it up there so people can view it on our Facebook page as well. So with that in the business, let's just see if everybody is ready. We can actually get going and start bringing up all the interesting things that we're going to be doing today. So top agents use real estate automation to improve their processes and efficiencies. We all know that this is one of those things that's out there to make your lives easier. You get these products, you get these programs that are made to help you with your day-to-day business. Your expertise is better used for communicating with your clients and finding the homes that they want. But that's not all there is to real estate. We all know that. There's like 1,000 different moving parts on every single transaction. So by having some of these behind the scenes items that can help you and automate a lot of it, it's going to make you focus where it matters most. So let's go through them. There's going to be 17 of these here. Some of them are from other companies, and a lot of them are ours because we put a lot of automation into our system. So let's get going on that, shall we? One of the great ones, we've just reintroduced this. It was in our older version of Top Producer, but we've reintroduced it with a better and more impressive automated lead response. So most plans will set up and you'll have it go out on a day or go out on another day after something. How would you like to have things where it's by minute? So you get a new lead. So you have it set up so as soon as it comes in, the plan is applied. It waits 3 minutes and then sends a text saying you got the inquiry. A few minutes after that, it's going to send an email. This way, it looks like it's coming out from a human. The biggest complaint that a lot of people out there say, and I can actually attest to this doing chat support for Top Producer, that anytime something is on a chat, a text or something, people automatically think, oh, is this a robot doing this? When you do the standard ones where it's going out at what looks like just set times, like midnight on one day, midnight on another day, and just in order like that, it can look like that. By being able to set it up to a timeline of minutes, and we're talking minutes here, you look more realistic, more personable, and it's not going to have people automatically going, oh, this is a robot just sending me the message. So, I mean, on the first day alone, we have 8 touch points for you. Texts, emails, market reports, and calls. I mean, that's going to help you get people engaged. That'll show them that they've gone with the right agent the moment they've connected with you. Once it's done, you just set them up on a solid nurture plan that'll help them. And this is when you can decide whether they're an engaged client that you're going to be working with, whether they're super active and they're going to need a lot of hand holding in day to day, or if there's somebody that just feeling out the waters and want to see what's going on, and you can add them to your future prospects. There's always a possibility with every client interaction. So the more possibilities you create and the more opportunities that are there, the better. Excuse me. There's also another option where you can do an automatic cold call service. You need to have optimization in your lives. You guys make a lot of phone calls to a lot of people. A lot of them result in people just saying, no, I'm not interested and whatnot. But a lot of them also get the people that are like, hey, yeah, I've been thinking about it. What if you could do a tool like Slide Dial here, where you can send a voicemail. You don't have to actually talk to them. You just leave a voice message. And this way, you remove all the people that aren't interested and frankly, who might give you a annoying phone call because they're like, I don't want to do this right now. You can bypass all that. You can get the people that are actually interested because they're going to hear this message and go, you know, I hadn't really thought about it, but maybe I should talk to this person. You're going to get that call back. Now, yes, you might get the call back going, how did you get my phone number and all that? But out of the most of it, you're going to get more actual clients than problems. And I know everybody will probably agree with this. The less problems in our lives, the better it is. We got enough to focus on right now in this world. The last thing we need is to have people arguing with us, right? So definitely give Slide Dial a look. It'll help make it so that you can slide into somebody's inbox, leave that message, get on to the next person, and hopefully build your database through that without having to deal with the hassles of people who are not happy with it. So that's two really cool things that are going to make your life easier. Number 3 here, automated marketing for your farm. We are very happy to be announcing and talking about smart targeting tool that we have. How would you like to have a tool that uses artificial intelligence to tell you the 20% most likely to sell people in a neighborhood? You can set this up where it targets a specific area and it will use information based on what the AI can pick up from the web, like say if somebody's looked or somebody's recently sold or somebody's actually interested in different items that could be related to real estate. This way, when you send out your marketing material, you're not going to have to send it to everybody all over the whole city. You could find a neighborhood that has got a lot of potential for growth and a lot of people that may be moving out. You can target them with a lot of very specific information to them. And smart targeting actually has that built in. It can do all of this and make it so that if you're doing door-to-door knocking, I know some agents still do that. You'll know which houses not to even bother. You'll know which houses are more likely to say, hey, you know, that's pretty cool. Let's have a conversation. Artificial intelligence has increased exponentially over the years to the point that something like this is now possible. So take the heavy lifting. I mean, like it even says right here, let the software do the heavy lifting. Your specialty is communication with people because you're all people. You're really good at negotiating and you're also good at taking care of your clientele. Why not make it so that you're getting clientele instead of just doing all the lifting of trying to create it? Something like this will make it so that you get everybody you need. So again, 3 super easy things that are making your life better. Excuse me. A virtual phone system. That's something that a lot of people can use. So a tool like Grasshopper. This will allow you to create different phone extensions. So let's say you have an open house coming up on the weekend. You can create an extension just for that specific open house. This way, when people are calling in and they call that extension, you know exactly what they're asking about. So you can have all of your information prepared, all your materials right at your hands. So when they ask, you're like, oh yeah, absolutely. I have all that information for you. Let's go over it. Or would you like to meet somewhere and go over excuse me, sorry, it's kind of dry and dusty in my basement. The more information that you have, the quicker. Once you first get that contact and can communicate with them, when they see that you're that on the ball, that you already know all the information about the property they're talking about, they've just all of a sudden realized they have definitely called the right person. You're attentive, you understand, and you're ahead of the game. So, I mean, now we've already done just 4 things that are going to set you apart from other agents. What do we got next? Integration into your CRM from your MLS. Now, Top Producer has worked very hard to get a very in-depth, high-level integration for the CRM. So a lot of CRMs and MLSs just do an IDX feed. IDX is great for having it so that your clients can come and do a search. What would be better than actually doing that is to just, you go in, put in the MLS ID from your specific MLS, and our system will pull the data over. You can double check to make sure that everything is exactly the same as on your MLS, compare all the information, and then move it into your CRM. Now, when you make changes on the MLS, it's going to actually, in real time, update in your CRM. So if you've got a property that is listed as active and you sell it, it's going to come across as sold into your CRM. And then you can set it as sold in Top Producer. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a drink here. I mean, this is pretty exciting stuff. Sorry about that. So let's get plugged into your MLS. You're already inputting information into the MLS. Once you put a house up, you have to get that info in there. Why have to type it twice? Why have to do it twice? Easiest way, integrate, pull it over. It also makes it easier once you've got that in there. When you're in your Top Producer, you can send off market reports. You can even, once you've got the market snapshot add-on, you'd be able to go over to that easily without any problem. Mike, give me half a second. I will jump back. There we go. Just because Mike asked, he said, sorry, I missed the 4th one. Could you go back quickly? Well, we are going to send the slide deck afterwards. But, you know, I'm trying to do this thing where I slow myself down. Thanks, Mike. You just reminded me that I have to slow down a bit more, so I appreciate that. So the 4th one was a virtual phone system. Like I said, tools like Grasshopper. You can create an extension through that. So when somebody calls, you've got a open house that you've just done on, or you're going to do on Saturday. On the flyers and information, you can put on a specific phone number with an extension with this system. When the client calls that specific number and that extension, you'll probably get what we call a whisper as the phone comes through, and it whispers in your ear before you actually talk to the client, saying open house and then address. This way, you know exactly what you're going to be talking about. So it does make it a little bit easier and a little bit more or less time consume. So just, it makes your life easier. That's all I can say. Our company uses something similar to that. When I do get phone calls, I can hear if it's from a direct client, if it's for billing counts, technical support, you name it, I can hear it. So something like this is really good. Does that help, Mike? Perfect. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to jump ahead now. Again, let's keep in mind this MLS integration. It's going to be something that everybody will really want in there because, again, why do the work twice? So get all your information into your CRM, 2 button clicks, maybe 3, and it's into your CRM. Easiest thing you can do. Excuse me. I think I'm getting a bit of an air conditioning cold, so bear with me. Sorry about that. One of the things that I know I said earlier, you don't want to look like a robot. Now I'm going to kind of sidestep that. Yeah, it's actually, I don't think, Angie, I appreciate that. I don't think it's actually cold. I think it's allergies. We've got heavy pollen in the air right now, and it's just beating me up. So if you see me coughing or sniffling or something, I do apologize. I am not, so bear with me. Thanks. I appreciate that, Angie. I appreciate your understanding and everybody's. So again, I went over and started the whole thing off saying, let's not be a robot. Let's not be a robot. Let's be humans and all that. And now I'm going to suggest using a robot. So I'm not a hypocrite, I promise. This is just something that helps out in today's world. It's not attention spans. People want things now. They don't want to wait. So a tool like Freshdesk, they've created chatbots that you can put onto your website. So as you can see from this this example, gentleman comes in and says, why is my account been suspended? They don't have to wait. They can actually get an answer from the chatbot right away. They can show a link to where and why it's happened and just take care of it right away. So this, as I said, I didn't want to say robotic, but this will help out. This can also be something where if you get a lot of the same questions over and over, you just set up your FAQ, or frequently asked questions, to be answered by your bot. This way, you don't have to be answering the same question over and over. I'm sure a lot of you guys are out there and people come up and go, hey, are you a realtor? And I know my sarcasm level, I don't know if other people have the same, where they'd kind of just look at them and go, really? So when you have a question that's always asked of you, have the chatbot handle that. They can put up your hours, best number to contact you, best way to contact you, whether it's chat, email, or a text message. Use the tools you're at your grasp. You want to spend more time working on your clients, working on finding them the homes they want to sell, or sorry, find the people to buy the home they want to sell, or find the home they want to buy. Leave the robots to do the things they should do. The stuff that, you know, I'm going to say you have more important things to do than answer somebody when your hours of operation are. I know that kind of sounds bad, but it is one way to go. So even though I said no robots, there are time for everything. It is the automated world. It is the computer world nowadays. AI has gotten better. Maybe we and our robot overlords can get along before they take over. Yes, I watch a lot of sci-fi, so that's why I said overlords and taking over. So that's 6. Still got 11 to go. I hope I'm not losing you guys. I hope I'm making this at least entertaining. I'm kind of entertaining myself, but that's not difficult to do. Next one. I mentioned this before, and it's a great thing along with your MLS connection. Your market snapshot reports. These are things that you can set up for all stages of your client life cycle. You can get it for brand new clients, clients that you've just sold a house to, or even helped them sell their house, clients who have been with you forever. The information we're able to get from the MLS can show them what prices are in their area. That way, if there's been a lot of action in the area, your people can see that, hey, this is actually a good time to sell. Prices are good, people are moving in, and maybe, you know, people may have been holding off. They might have figured, hey, this isn't a good time to sell, so why don't I just stay in the house that I have right now? But they may actually need to downsize, or maybe, you know, like myself, I work from home. Maybe they work from home too, and they don't need to be as close to their office. Time to move out to a different area where, you know, it would be nice to be able to sit out on the deck and do work, wouldn't it? Actually, I'm sure a lot of you folks do that, or at the beach, or just down at the coffee shop, because it's a mobile world. When you have that, you send these snapshots out to them. You can send them out every 2 weeks, monthly, quarterly, semi-yearly, or yearly. You can also send them a daily or in like real time messages of what's going on in the area. You'll notice right here in the center, we have something that looks like a snapshot. You'll also, and this here is what the snapshot looks like, gives the information that you want. And it can show you what all is for sale, been for sale, sold, pending, or even expired. This way your clients can see exactly what's happening in the neighborhood. And that way, when you tell somebody who's trying to sell, this is what the comparables are, and this is what your house is going to go for, they're going to see that, hey, this expert has already figured out exactly what I need to know. So let's stick with that. You can send it out. Like I said, you can have it go out at different time levels. You can have it go out for a seller or a buyer. And it's just going to, and it might actually, like I say, tell your past clients what the neighbor's house sold for. They might all of a sudden realize I can make a bit of a profit. Extra tools to make it easy for you, repeat business as well, and referrals. You might send this out to somebody who's not interested, but they may know somebody who is. So this keeps you, as always, front of mind. And that's what we want to do for you. You want to make sure that people realize you all are the realtor of expertise. So we're kind of halfway through. I mean, we've got pretty good time here. I'm going to enjoy my coffee. I hope everything's making sense and everything's showing. Here at Top Producer, one of our goals is to always make your life easier. That's why we've taken the time to find things that will. So let's go on to number 8. So one of the best things we have are task plans, contact task plans specifically. Again, as I mentioned before, you have a lot of stuff you got to do on a daily basis. What's the worst thing that could happen? What if you forgot to send something to your customer? What if you had a contract that needed to go out on a specific day, but because you got slammed, it didn't go out? That's going to cause a massive problem. I know for myself personally, and thankfully I'm not a realtor, or I would be the worst in the world. There are days that I know that I need to do something. And then at the end of the day, after I've closed down my computer, I'll go, nuts, I forgot to do that. If I were to set myself up on a contact task plan, the system is going to remind me. They're going to say, hey, don't forget to send this contract out. Don't forget you've got this phone call you've got to do. Don't forget you've got this group of emails to do, and you want to take care of this. And it'll tell you, and it'll also tell you which contact. It'll bring up the specific contact. If you're doing text messages, it'll send that text message, or it'll remind you to send that text message. If you're going to make a phone call, it'll remind you, hey, you need to make this call. Once the plan is set up, now here's the best part. You set it up, you put it on the contact, and then you can go on to the next contact. It will then remind you when it's time to do these things. I like how when Christine put this slide together, she put that arm doing the flexing. I'm not going to try to mirror that because I have no muscle on my arm anymore. I'm a tech, I stay home. But as we always say, let your CRM do the heavy lifting. All the stuff that is basically the most important things is your chance to work with your clients. This other stuff, the administrative, that's why you have a CRM. Take care of that, set up those task plans, set up those ideas so that people know exactly where to go. You'll be taken care of, and your clients will also be taken care of. So that's number 8. We got 9 to go. Pretty cool. And these are actually some pretty cool things we have. I'm very cool about our drip campaigns. I'm very impressed with our drip campaigns and how we've done them. Now take a look at them, and you can always edit them as you need. You can change them, you can add things, you can remove stuff, you can update the verbiage. But we do have some really great ones in there that'll help you out. Now, in this new world, social media is key. I mean, who doesn't grab their smartphone and go, hey, what's on Facebook today? Or what's on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest? That's all that I can think of off the top of my head. I am not a social media person. So something like Meet Edgar would be something that would be perfect for somebody like myself. And I can say that I'm not a social media person because I am in that in-between stage. I remember the world before cellular phones, computers, and everything. And now I'm a technician because it's the way of the world. But let's say you have a lot of information that you want to put out on your socials. You've got new houses in your inventory. You've got new events that you want your clientele to see. You can build up that library of events, information. And as you can see with this screenshot here, you can have it actually be put up onto your Facebook, onto your LinkedIn, onto your Instagram for you without you having to do anything. And I keep saying Instagram, but I don't see the Instagram logo in there. So hopefully it works with Instagram as well. But you just take the time to create it. You get it ready, and then you trust Meet Edgar, and it goes up. Now, there might be others out there. I'm pretty sure that the ones that we have picked, knowing my associate Christine and everyone else that does that on that team, they've looked for the ones that we think are the best for you guys. We would never put something onto one of our slides if we didn't think it was good. So I trust her implicitly. So I think if she said that this is good, this is good. So it does help you engage your followers as well. We all know how important followers are to social media platforms. If you're able to get those daily posts out, daily little things out, and not have to worry about doing it while you're doing everything else, you're taken care of. When you actually have, I like to say, when one of you folks in real estate actually has 5 minutes to sit down and breathe, you might have that inspiration to create that post that you need to go out next week. So you may be able to create it, have it set up, put it into your system here, and then not have to worry about it. And I know I keep saying things that are automatic and using a robot to do everything. I totally contradict myself saying we don't want to look like a robot at the start. So it's kind of that, see, that's the middle ground. You got to know when to use technology for its automation and when to use robots, and also when to just keep things going. So give this a try, or something like this. It's going to help and free up a lot of your time, especially since you can. Thank you. I'm glad you got my back on this, Christine. Yes, you won't look automatic using these ones because, like you'll notice with the social media one here, you have different times that you can set things up. That's become very popular to have times instead of just a day. So that's pretty cool how this one would work. So everything is getting smarter and it's getting easier to work with. So let's go on to the next thing. One of the most important, I can't say how important this is, especially from when I did my sales, or when I did the sale of my old house and moved into my new house. Having an agent who was on top of the transaction management, making sure I knew everything, agreement dates, closing dates, and having everything lined up perfectly. That made my life so much easier because I was trying to fix up an older home that we were moving out of that I'd lived in for 30 years, move from one town to another while working full-time job that was more than 8 hours a day. I mean, you all know a day never ends after 8 hours. Trying to do all that, I couldn't keep track of my own name, let alone what I was supposed to be doing. So having a tool that tells you to let your clients know what's going on, that's going to help reduce their stress and anxiety. And yes, in this day and age, anxiety is causing so many problems for a lot of people. If you can eliminate that from the house buying or selling process, you're going to make people so excited and happy. And the one thing that I really love about how the way our management workflows are working in Top Producer X, if you change a date, it flows through, it adjusts it automatically for you. So if all of a sudden something happens and your client says, I can't do it this day, but I need to move it to this day, you just go into that transaction, you change that date, let's say the closing date. Both sides had an agreed date upon date, and then all of a sudden life happens, like We all understand life happening. It's still 2020, right? I know, bad joke. You can adjust it so that people can see, and you can change it. Things will go in place and your system will automatically update it. So every preceding item will go to the next date that it should go to. This is going to save you tons of time right there. If you have somebody who, let's say you had 3 people who are closing on one day, and all of a sudden 2 of them came to you and had to move it, like back a couple of days. You're able to put the system into the dates, or put the dates into the system. I don't English well at times. Put the dates into the system, and then it'll flow along and update everything else in it for you. That way, you can concentrate on those specific days. Not only is it going to make your life easier, it's going to make your clients' lives easier. End of the day, who doesn't want to make their clients' lives easier? Because that makes your life easier, does it not? So keep that in mind when you're using it. The transaction management is awesome. Is it possible to add another date? Sorry, Mark, I just caught your message. Good to see you again. I have an email from you, Mark. I promise I will respond to it. I just haven't had a chance. I do apologize, but I will take that. Christine and I will pass that suggestion along. The earnest money turned in. I'm not sure why that's not in there. I wonder if financial commitment date was the one that they had thought of, but we'll put that suggestion in. Hopefully we can get that in. I can see how that would be a very useful one to have. So let's notate that and we'll pass it along. Thank you. I appreciate that suggestion, Mark. As always, we want suggestions. We are building this software, constantly improving it and upgrading it for your guys' needs. So when it comes to a top producer thing, if you have something that you want, let us know. We will get it directly to the development team and they will try to get it into the future workflow. And considering earnest money turned in is probably something that a lot of people could use, I'm hoping this one can get a pretty high number on the idea to do it. So thanks for reminding me about that, Mark. I will keep that there. So Gene, you should be able to add whatever. Gene Cementelli says you should be able to add whatever you want into the trans management. So right now we have tried to pick out the best ones that we had and everything that's in there. So it is possible that we might have missed them. So we will take a note of these and put them along, and the ability to edit them, I will put that as a suggestion up as well, Gene. I appreciate that. That might actually help you as well, Mark, if we had it so that it was editable. I'm not going to make any promises on that, but if we can, hopefully we can make that happen. Again, like I say, we're trying to make you, oh, perfect, yes. We're trying to make things better for you. We want everything that helps out for you guys. So we will send it up. We like to see about things that make your lives easier. All right, so we'll jump over to the next thing. Now, some companies like to keep their data locked, but they have got a way that you can use a program like Zapier or Zapier. I don't know the pronunciation. I just call it one or the other. You can connect apps and automate workflows. So using Zapier, and I'm just going to call it Zapier. I did see your question, Miles. I'll get back to it in a second, okay? Bear with me just a moment, please. So let's say you have some information on your Facebook, because we know that a lot of people do Facebook ads. If you do that, Facebook is not designed to send that information out to very many different places. It was something that they've been called out on, losing data, and nobody in the computer field wants to lose data. So what they do is they create what we call is a Zapier Zap. What it does is it creates a connection between Zapier and, say, Top Producer, or any CRM actually, where it will pull your information or the information from your ad. It will have specific criteria that if it's met, will then be taken and sent over to your CRM. And now, especially with Top Producer, with your our new leads setup, as soon as the lead comes in, you start them off on that plan. So now you've gone from Facebook to CRM, Top Producer, of course, and automatically the lead is getting a response. You can even take it from a Google Sheet. So if you go to an open house, and you've got your tablet or laptop there and people put their information in, you can then run a Zap that will take that information from that Google Sheet and send it over to your CRM, formatted the way you need it to make sure you get the information where you do. Now, yes, a lot of these functions, it would be nice if they were all built into one program. I get it. I can actually hear the gears going through a lot of people's heads because they go through mine. Think of it like this way. You folks are experts in real estate. I'm a computer tech. If I were to try to do what you do on a daily basis, I would be getting a very nice, comfortable jacket that keeps my arms in place in a padded room. I honestly have a lot of respect for what you do because you juggle so much. Trying to juggle everything in one program would be, I can't think of how anybody would do that. So that's why certain people are experts at things. Zapier has a really good way of sending the information around, collecting it, going through it, combing through, finding the information you need and sending it to your CRM. It's one of the reasons why we are showing you some of these programs from outside of our company, because we know they can do what you need to do. All right, so I'm going to go back to Miles' question. He had asked about something on this side. Miles, I think adding miscellaneous conditions would also go under the editing ability. So that's one of those things. I'm going to make sure I take your names and put it down and mention it to our developers about something. I think a straight edit and being able to change and update things, as that would probably cover what all three of you need. So hopefully that helps, Miles. And thanks for giving me a moment to catch up on everything before I responded. So we'll just take a quick little breather here. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Gene. Every transaction is different. So having the ability to edit it would be really good. I love the feedback you guys give, honestly. As a company that is rebuilding our software to try to make it in line with today's needs and what you need, you're the best to tell us what to have. We can only do so much. We're the geeks. You're the ones out in the field. So your feedback is super valuable. And what I'm happy to say is it is reviewed weekly. So hopefully, Christine and I will put that up. Maybe we can get some traction on that for you. Let me go to the next point I have here. So one of the things is I know a lot of people are paying for leads. Now, I know that leads they're your bread and butter. After you get a lead, you can turn them into a sphere of influence and a contact that you're going to have. The problem is that person may be sending information out to multiple people. And depending on which place they pull the information from, one could get it from our friends at realtor.com. Somebody could get it from our favorite Facebook links, Trulia, directly from your MLS. If you're sending it in, if you're not getting that lead immediately, you've lost out. We all know that. You have that golden time where if you don't respond to somebody, they go and look to somebody else. That's one of the advantages of the fact that we have over 150 different companies that you just give a lead parsing email to. And once the lead comes in for you, it comes directly to your CRM. And here's where you can then apply that new lead follow-up plan. So this way, all of your leads are being taken care of. You're not going to miss a lead. As soon as that's in your CRM, boom, you're talking to them. Lead response is already out there. You're engaging that client. You're being able to show them that you're actually the one who is listening. You're looking to help them. You're not just out to make a buck. So that is something that's going to happen immediately. And this question right here from Mike Milovic. So are the sources automatically recorded to your CRM? Absolutely. Something that comes from realtor.com, it will say realtor.com. Something that comes from Zillow, it will say Zillow. If you are part of a team and your team has our 5 Street product as well, when the lead comes in from 5 Street, it's going to say 5 Street. This is going to allow you to see where you're getting the most benefit, where your marketing dollars are working out well, And I know that's going to pique interest. You want to see who's actually giving you the best bang for your buck. If you're paying this money to get these leads, if they're not giving you quality leads that you can actually work with, then your marketing dollars could go somewhere else. And if you've got it so that this information comes in directly, you're not going to need another source or somebody else to look after it for you. You could just start even having your own website. Your own website could actually direct leads to your CRM. And then you just have the flyers, do the old Facebook thing. You're getting your leads from there. You don't have to go out and buy from elsewhere. You also get word of mouth. It's so much easier to have everything coming into your CRM now. You don't have to worry about following up on that and taking care of it. We can do it for you. And they'll be coming in right away. So you're not going to have to look around, check your email and see who's been a lead and see if you've had a chance to catch up with them. So definitely that's going to help you out in the long term easily. The more stuff that you don't have to worry about on a daily basis, the more time you have to spend on the important things like your clientele. Now, one of those things that and you can't really see, but I have an iPhone here. Not a lot of people are actually connected to iCloud unless you had a full Mac environment. But now I get to help people set up a contact and calendar sync, which can be done with Google, Microsoft, Apple. I could even say Yahoo, AOL. We have got a lot of different companies we can connect with. I just use the big three always, Google, Microsoft, and iCloud, because those are the most popular. But let's just say you're putting in a new appointment into your top producer X. You put it in within moments. It's now on your iPhone or your Android-based phone, or even your Microsoft phone if you still got one of those. Kind of miss those. Those work pretty cool, but I digress. You put the information in, and even if you are using an app, such as the Outlook app with the calendar or the Google app with their calendar on your smartphone, it'll still come up. It'll be in that calendar. An appointment you put in the calendar on your smartphone, it comes to your CRM as well. This will allow you to have all that information there. You're in the field, you're having dinner, somebody recognizes you from one of your flyers. Hopefully they wait until you're done eating, but then they come up to you and say, hey, I'm looking for a realtor. You can automatically get their information, put it into your phone, and then it'll synchronize to your CRM. Then when you get home, you can go into Top Producer, or wait, it's already got an ad or a lead response set up already. But you can go home and you can actually do the investigation for them, send that information and be like, hey, we met at dinner. Here's a little bit of information to get you started. Here's how you're going to get the best out of your search. So having that instantaneous connectivity, and I say instantaneous, but it's computers. You do have to give them a little bit of time to actually work. But for the most part, it's pretty close to instantaneous. So you're going to have a chance to get all the information you need from a client or from a lead to turn them into a client. And it's so much easier to do now. You just put it into one system and it goes to the other. It was a very happy day around Top Producer when we were able to set this up with as many different groups as we've had. I really love when it's working. It flows through very well. It works really well. Great. I say when it's working because I'm a tech. I have to work with stuff when it's broken. Fortunately for me, the fixes for these are pretty easy. They're pretty simple. They don't stay broken for long. So that's one of the other things. The downtime is insignificant. You're not going to miss anything. So something like this is going to just, again, ease of mind. You get all your information in one place and it spreads out to the other places. So far, everything I've had to do is cool. At least I think it's cool, but I'm a geek. So I've got a couple more for you. And I want to say I appreciate you all hanging out for this. I know this is a lot of information. So one of the things that probably is one of the more annoying parts of the whole real estate is trying to get physical contracts signed. You got to find when you can have time to meet with somebody and where to meet. And in this day and age, people are also like, well, I'm not able to go here. I don't want to go there. If it would be so much easier if you can just say, hey, I've sent you an email, go to the link in the email. It'll take you to a company called Loop. Sign it there. You can even have a pre-set up signature, and it is a legally binding signature. You can have the template set up, and this is about here. You can be in the middle of letting your clients look at a specific part of a house while you're out on a showing. And you can quickly just send it over and say, oh, okay, so-and-so has signed their contract. So that's one less hassle. I get to go back to the office, finalize this, and another happy client. Then you put your phone back in your pocket and you go back to the person that you're working with at that time. It's going to save you so much time, not having to chase people down for the signatures. So having something like that, I'm curious who wouldn't want to use that. Now, I can understand somebody who's a real people person likes to actually see that, and old school liking to see things on paper. I mean, I still take handwritten notes myself, which is why my desk is an exact disaster, and I've got my standing desk so you can't see it. But I know if you're getting all this information taken care of quickly and right on the internet, you're saving so much time. You don't have to run around and meet people at different places. And I do like that after saying who wouldn't want that, I didn't see any messages. So I like the fact that nobody else is saying, oh, I want to have it. I understand there's probably going to be certain clients that you are going to go and do that with. I mean, repeat clients, children of somebody you sold previously who are now selling with you, just those ones that you've built those deep connections with. But at the same time, you are going to need that specific time when a automated signature like this or digital signature like this will make life a lot easier. So yeah, Loop is one of the ones. There's a bunch of different ones out there that do the signatures. I noticed Adobe's got signatures in it. I'm not so sure how they're set. Microsoft's even working into it. So the day of the automatic online signature is becoming more and more popular. So there is another, I think I've probably, with a lot of these things, I could probably say I've saved you hours. Korea has got it set up for us here in Canada. Awesome. That's good to know, Miles. I do like that they're getting that set up, and that makes it a lot easier for you. So cool. That's awesome to know. So let's go over to the next one. Now, this is another one of those really cool things. Like, you want to get people on coming to you, asking you for the expert information. So what if you had a landing page and a web form that you can put on a business card, put on Facebook, put on your website? So whenever somebody does a search, they can find that, and you're all of a sudden getting two things. They're going to come to your website. They're going to click on the what's your home worth. They're then going to send you their contact information, which we all know is gold. And you're going to send them that market snapshot. They're going to be in your CRM. They're going to have a market snapshot, and they're going to know what their home's worth. And then you can follow up. One of these things that's going to help you is always having that information. So you can put this link on your Facebook. Now, I do see a question here from Angie Sora. All these apps you mentioned are compatible to synchronize with Top Producer, but must be paid for separately. Correct. Correct. I can't say it any better. Like I said before, it would be so nice if you could get one program that could do all of this. The problem with trying to do one program that does it all is you then stretch all your resources way too thin. We've experienced that here at Top Producer. I'm not going to lie. It's one of the reasons why we are concentrating on the CRM and the market snapshot and the 5 Street, plus our websites. I should never leave the websites out. But before, we tried to do a lot more. So we've been able to specialize in certain areas, and that way we can give you a better experience. If we tried to create all of these things all at the same time, it's gonna come out bad. But yes, some of them are separate, but the ones that are Top Producer related, thank you for backing me up on that one. The ones that are top producer related are part of your plan. So like she says, lead response plans, transaction management, MLS integration, landing pages, and market snapshots. They're all part of your subscriptions. So if you have the professional bundle, you'll have everything there. But yeah, so what's more simple than putting a very quick link on your Facebook, putting it out to all your followers and saying, hey, if you click here, you can find out what your home's worth. And then all of a sudden, anybody who's followed you but hasn't sent you their contact information is about to. They're going to give it to you. You are getting everything all built into one place. Angie, Christine's always right, so I just rely on her. So, but I'm glad we were able to get that answered for you. But yeah, so this is a great little addition here. Having landing pages and web forms, you're never going to lose out. You're going to get that data. You're going to get your client the data they want, and you're going to build that reputation. And also, key point, the R and CRM is for relationship. You're going to build that relationship with just a quick click. Now let's try this one here. I mentioned this program before. So lead routing and assignment to your team members. If you're on a team, you might have specific people who are specific experts in, say, land development or land purchases. Somebody's specifically really good at condos. Somebody's really good at single home or single family homes. You can get the 5 Street program, which allows your leads to come into 5 Street. It will also, and you can work with this, it will send them an automatic reply. And then it'll send out a lead to your team. Now you can either have it where it's a free for all, where the first person to get it wins, or you can have it sent to specific people based on specific criteria. Once they get it, they just click on the button. It notifies, it gives them, again, I can't English well, I'm going to try that again. Once the lead is assigned to somebody, they'll get a notification. They click on said notification, and now it's going to send out the automated response. It's also going to send them to your top producer CRM, where it's going to have the source of 5 Street. And this is where your lead response plan, the one that is signified to look for the source of 5 Street, will go into effect and send that first top producer text message, then send the email and set up the phone call for you. This will also has its own little login as well, that the team lead can go in and see who's working on what and making sure they followed up on it. So this is a really good one for team leads. And I know some of the team leads out there are looking going, hey, I can make sure my leads that I'm paying for are being followed up on. That is a definite bonus there. But you can also see just how well your team is taking care of those leads. So it's one of those great double-sided things. It gets you on both sides. Make sure that you get that contact and make sure that the follow-up is being done. So it is another program that we offer here at Top Producer. Very popular and very well used. Instantaneous, seamless flow into Top Producer itself. You just connect your Top Producer username, and as soon as the lead comes in, it's over. And then, like I said, we set up your lead response plan, get them going, turn that lead into a client, do all the transaction management, MLS integrations, and then we get the big old bag of money at the end. And yes, I like to say the big old bag of money. I think we all want a big old bag of money, don't we? And so finally, the last one. One of the coolest landing pages we have on our Top Producer website is the open house landing page. What you can do is, instead of just having to have a piece of paper and a pen to sign up on, you could have your tablet there or your laptop. You could have it on, like you see here, we've got it on an iPad. You have the iPad there. People come over, put in their name, phone number, email, and submit. You have now captured the data of somebody who's been coming to your open house, and it'll be sent to your CRM right away. They will come from this specific landing page, and then you add them to the lead response plan. And yes, I am bringing back that lead response plan because I wanted to show and explain just how valuable that is going to be. It's going to save you a lot of time. When you get that set up, it's just something in your website. And if you have a top producer website, and I saw your question out of the corner of my eye, Angie, so that's why I'm going into this. She asked where we can find this option. When you're in your top producer website dashboard, you're going to go to the edit, and it's along the top, it's edit, and then edit landing pages. And here you'll have an option to create an open house landing page. Now, your top producer website most likely is already connected to your CRM, your top producer CRM, that is. And that way you won't have to worry about that. You then grab the information, which we're connecting to MLSs now. Most MLSs, I'm pretty sure it's across the board. Thank you. That's awesome. I love it when Christine puts up that information for us. Makes it easier. You can see more info and get more info than what I say. But you can actually pull in the information. As you can see, it's got the hero image of the house with the front. Shows that it has 36 more photos. You can view it on the map. And then people will see exactly what they'll know, hey, this is the house I'm looking at. Put their information in, it comes to you. You've got all that data captured. How easy was that? I mean, I know the world has changed where we're not as connecting with each other. I mean, again, I'm sitting here in my home and I'm not in an office. A lot of us are working that way because of the changes. Technology is working with us for that. These people can put all their information in, you can get it, and you can work with them. And hey, you can also send them that market snapshot too. So you're going to have use of all your programs, and everything is going to work in conjunction. So as I said, I had 17 cool things to show you all today. I'm hoping you guys feel the same way, that these were pretty cool. And some of these will help you out. Now, we will send you, as somebody had asked, a recording of this webinar and a blog on the 17 automations that we discussed today. I love that, happy automating. I really wish my computer would grow arms like that and start doing some of that work for me. It would make my life so much easier. So I can imagine how much easier that would make my life. I can only guess how much easier it would make yours. So give it a look. And do you have any other questions for me right now before? I mean, we've taken up almost an hour of your time, and I really appreciate y'all hanging out. Okay, Miles, I have a concern, not so much recently, but over the past several months, TP website has been down. Are you talking about your top producer website? Or are you talking the CRM, or what specifically has been down, Miles? Because if it's your actual top producer website, I would ask that you double check to see if the IP address with your domain, oh, TP, okay. If you could go to, I'm bringing up this next screen because it has some important information for me. If you could go over to, excuse me, if you could go over to topproducer.com/campus and click on chat now, the team should be able to get you in. If you can't log in, then we need to make sure to find out why. This is what your software is for. You want to have that capability. So yeah, please reach out to them at the campus there. And anybody who's on our chat team will be able to help you instantly. Perfect. Thanks, Christine. Yeah, the hold time for our chat is usually no more than a minute. So you should get an answer real quick and we'll get you taken care of. And I apologize you've had that problem, Miles. You should never have that much difficulty. I do see another question in our QAs. I appreciate you waiting until now. John Puller, can you review the calls that go right to voicemail? Let me go back. That was what, 2? Virtual phone system. This was, yes, automatic cold call. Okay, John, so this is one of the services we've looked at called SlideDial. This will allow you to use their program to put in, and you'll see that it's a SlideDial Connect or something. I'm going to be honest, I've never used this program because when I'm not at work, I don't actually try to use my phone. So I don't call people when Don't purposely try to get their voicemail. And for work purposes here, I think any of you agents that I tried to call, if I purposely tried to go to your voicemail, I'm sure you wouldn't be happy with me. So I don't have experience with this program. But it is basically just a design so you can bypass the main pickup and it goes in. Hey, no problem, Patricia. Thanks for sticking out for the hour. You will get the link and the information after, but thanks for sticking around. So John, as I was saying, it's just something that'll bypass the typical pickup and conversation. You can leave a voicemail, you can go through your dial list pretty quick, and then you'll be able to have the people who are actually interested call back. So I hope that answers your question and let you know how that'll work. Again, I don't have any hands-on experience, so I can't really say what the best part of this is. Just being completely honest with you. I'm going to go back to, yeah, I know I'm zipping through, sorry. Go back to this because I do like to make sure everybody knows all this information. Like we say, we've got our live chat. You can go to topproducer.com/campus. And then there's a couple of buttons there for chat now. Within every Top Producer program, including 5 Street, down in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see a chat bubble. You can click on that. You can reach out to our team. And like I say, it's usually within a minute.